Hey Wine Peeps, it's Kathy Meyer, Chief Joyologist at WineLoveJoy, back for another episode of Wine Time. And I have my good friend Tad Lupton, who is the founder and architect at Beyond Architecture. And I know he has some really exciting things to tell us today. But before we get there, we are going to drink some wine, as always. So today's is a Syrah. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're going to start with this one, and we can go ahead and take a sip, a little smell, a little sip. Oh my gosh, I love Syrah. I just absolutely adore it. And he is nice and warm and spicy. And this is a Syrah from California. It's the Glory Cellars label. The thing that impresses me the most is this is 2015. This is just a year old, and I'm already enjoying it in the glass, and he can age for another 3 years easily. This Syrah, like I said, is from California. Syrah originally came out of France, as did most grapes that are out there. And you may have seen it with the name Syrah, S-Y-R-A-H. And you can find that from the ones that we have here in America or the ones in France. But you may have also seen Shiraz or Shiraz,
yes.
Or just don't, well, if you want to call it Syrah, you can call it Syrah. I don't care. What that is the Australians took it, they grew the grape, and they wanted to put their own spin on it. So that's why we have the Shiraz and the Syrah, but guess what? Same grape, just two different styles. This one, I'm getting a lot of dark berry flavor. It does have some tannin, but it's not really tannic. I mean, it's not like saying, oh my gosh, dry out my mouth because he's so tannic. He's very smooth, I think. Mm-hmm. And I would love this with, of course, aged white cheddar. I have aged white cheddar with every one of my wines, but what would you pair this with?
I mean, probably some grapes, maybe some type of bread. Mm-hmm. Definitely just a regular cheddar, I think.
Yeah. And also, I'm going into like some steak. We had a wonderful steak last week, and it would have gone beautifully with this. I also think that the recipe pairing that they have this month is very interesting sounding. It's a spinach lasagna.
Okay.
So you can either go with the meat-based lasagna or the spinach lasagna and get some good things there. Now, one more thing before I forget. Glory Cellars, why this is a special label is because this is also a fundraiser from Wine Shop at Home. $2 from every bottle goes to America's Mightiest Warriors to help support the families of our veterans, the wounded, the fallen, and their families. So it's a wonderful program. So Glory Cellars is the label. Now let's learn more about Tad and what's going on at Beyond Architecture. So tell me, Tad, how did you get started with architecture, and what kind of led to the creation of Beyond Architecture?
I actually got started all the way back when I was in literally like junior high school.
Oh, wow.
Our school had an addition with a new library, and there were some contemporary architecture magazines that you could look at, and I was nerdy enough that I started looking at some of those. And then I, in college, went to University of Cincinnati and had a chance to co-op with Walt Disney World down in Orlando. It was for a year-long time, and it was an amazing experience. Their whole attitude is to have fun and be as creative as you can be.
Yes.
So that got me to where I absolutely loved what I was doing. And then over the years, I've worked for a variety of different firms, but about 5 years ago, I decided it was time to start my own. So.
Yeah. And so I know that you've been working on some really fascinating projects recently. So tell us about those.
Well, the one that is currently being presented to the City Council for approval is that I'm in a strategic partnership with another architecture company, Cooler Design, and together we've created the design master plan for a large portion of the city of Westfield.
Yeah.
So everything from their Main Street south to 169th Street on Meridian Street. And it's going to include, right now it's programmed to include a number of bike paths, pedestrian connections, and then a new convention center for the city, as well as a new YMCA, aquatics center possibly, and some other key buildings.
Yeah, that place is just booming. All the things they have going on there.
Yes.
That's amazing. And how exciting that you get to be part of the plan as they grow.
Yeah, it's always fun when you can do a vision plan with a city and with kind of key stakeholders. So
awesome! Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
So with that going on, obviously that's so exciting. But what would be your dream job?
Dream job, honestly, is here in Indianapolis. I would absolutely love to design a museum for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Oh.
I've gone to the races my whole life since I was in high school. Absolutely love it. I've even put out concepts for idea competitions that have been going on in our city. But yeah, that's a dream job.
That is awesome. So if any of you wine peeps out there have connections with the Indy 500 and, are looking for something to do, how about design a new museum with Mr. Tad Lupton from Beyond Architecture? Just saying, it could totally happen.
That'd be great.
Now, if you could go anywhere in the world and visit some architecture that's already existing, where would you like to go?
Actually, I have two places. One would be Barcelona, because there are a number of amazing museums by some of my icons, like Frank Gehry out of California. He did their Guggenheim Museum. But then also definitely Abu Dhabi, with all of the amazing new high-rise buildings that are done there. It'd be a dream trip.
That is amazing to me, those high-rises. I would not in any way, shape, or form want to be on one of those above maybe the 20th floor. I don't know. Maybe I could go 30. That's it. But those are just visually stunning to look at.
Yeah.
Could you imagine those over here, though? That would be a trip.
The amazing thing is when you see a comparison of how high their buildings are to some of our highest buildings.
Yes.
They're double to triple the height already. So just the thought of that is amazing when you think of our highest skyscrapers.
Yeah. And could you imagine being one of the people that has to work on building that? No.
Yeah.
But thank you. Yeah. Okay, so what kind of other things do you do? So obviously you help visualize new plans for towns, and you'd love to do the museum, but what other kind of day-to-day things do you do?
I tell people that I design spaces that they go to after 5 o'clock. And so what I mean by that is I've got some custom homes that I'm doing for some people. I've got a restaurant right now that's being done for the owners of Murphy's Steakhouse, Murphy's Pub. It's their new one that's going to be opened up near Geist. And I've also got like a law office right now in Carmel that I'm helping to renovate and expand. So I try to do the fun stuff.
Yes. And isn't that exciting to think about the places you want to go to after 5 o'clock? I mean, even for, like you're saying, like the homes and then the restaurants, but the law offices, if you can get that vibe in a business, that it's a place you want to go, especially if it's like a law office. Could you imagine a dentist office?
Right.
If it had that vibe of where you want to go? I think we have a new plan here, like adult dental offices where you want to go, and it has that vibe of after 5.
Well, and it's nice when you have a client that wants something more fun and more modern and just more creative.
Yes.
So.
Well, that's awesome. I'm so glad you came to share that today. And
thank you.
Definitely tell us, how can we get in touch with you? Where can we see more about your work?
Sure. My website is www.beyondarchitecture-in.com. So all of the samples of my work are on that page. The other side of my work, the reason for the name Beyond, is that I also do artwork. I do impressionist painting. I've got commissioned works that I've done, and some of the examples of that are on the website too.
Yes, I have seen Tad's artwork, and it is gorgeous. It is absolutely stunning. So definitely get in touch with Tad if you need a space designed or if you need some artwork to help decorate the space you already have. Well, thank you again so much, Tad, for joining me and drinking some Syrah. Take care.
Cheers.
Cheers.